Before we get started on the Q&A, I wanted to spend a sec to say thanks to you all. I have no idea why I got 10,000 of y'all, but thanks so much for supporting my channel. These questions are from both YouTube and Discord. Most of them will be white if they're from YouTube, darker color if on Discord. Now, on to the questions. For the first question on our Q&A, what is the video you're most proud of? I'd have to say, for serious videos, I'm most proud of the Jealous Friend series. And for jokes that make me laugh, I'm most proud of the Yandere runs you over with the car. With the authentic car noises, of course. I should really remake that one sometime. With my new audio quality and stuff like that, it would be kind of funny. Other than that, those are the two video series that I'm pretty proud of. Medusa is a high contender. It's just that I think that the Jealous Friend series, I put a lot more effort and heart into this series. Thanks for asking. Have there ever been a character you played that you felt contrasted your feelings the best? There has been. I think the bossy tsundere noble, or known as a himidare, was a character I didn't connect to much with feelings or personality. It was still really fun to record her though. I just don't really connect to her on an emotional or personal level. What is your favorite anime or manga? I haven't watched anime in a while, but I did enjoy Death Note, One Punch Man, Inuyasha, Corpse Party, and another. Manga-wise is lots of Junji Ito, Fruits Basket, and things of that kind of variety. What is the highest number of recordings you did for one video? Not including this one because I'm individually recording each answer for each question. Viola. She took around 12 recordings, including a lot of bloopers and mess-ups. What got me into ASMR? Making it, I wanted to give back to the community, and now it's just a hobby. But first listening to it was just because I was lonely, honestly. But yeah, that's what got me into ASMR. Would you rather replace your regular arms with one massive arm on your back, or replace your legs with 8 octopus tentacles? 8 octopus tentacles, at least I could still have functionality of some kind. Either way, it's pretty difficult to decide. I just think that gigantic arms would look really weird. But at least with octopus legs, maybe I could be a monster girl waifu of some kind. I don't know. It's a very difficult decision. What's your favorite firearm? I don't know much about guns at all, so I'm really sorry. But I do like an AK-47, if that makes a difference at all. Mantis shrimp or pistol shrimp? I'd say the cooler looking one is a mantis shrimp. I've never seen a pistol shrimp in my life, and I didn't even know it existed till it was asked. So I'd have to say mantis shrimp out of the two. If you had a superpower, what would you have? Probably the ability to get my life together. Or something to do with duplicating physical objects. I could make hella money. Opinions on Kirby. He's cool. I played a lot of games with my sibling. I never got to play as him too much though, just because my sibling really wanted to play as him. Still was really fun games though. Hot dogs, yes or no? Honestly, no. I always feel like crap after eating them. They just make me feel how they taste. Just bleh and disappointment. When milk is poured into cereal, is it considered a broth, soup, drink, or condiment? The cereal altogether or just the milk? If it's just the milk, then technically a broth, but the cereal altogether, including the cereal portion, then soup. But technically, broth is drinkable, so it would be a drink as well. It's a really confusing question, but I hope that explains. If you could change one fundamental concept of communication, what would it be? I'd replace super common words into really stupid alternatives like fooples. Like, could you imagine, instead of talking like a normal person, you just have to sound like you're verbally vomiting? It would be hilarious. If every rapper could legitimately do all the things they say they can do, who would be the strongest? I wouldn't really know, because I don't listen to rap. So let's just coin a random rap artist name here. There we go. Good enough. Why is the word stroke used for both a violent mental fuck-up and a gentle touch? I honestly have no clue. It's probably the same reason why it's a pool swimming move, too. English is really weird. Who are some of your favorite ASMR artists? I have a few. Vividly, Exhibit A, and Cardland Audio are some people I sometimes check back into to re-listen. I'm not as active in listening to audios as much as I used to, but sometimes I can check back in with those people because I really like the content they put out. Thank you. What are some typical Florida things you've done and or witnessed? Well, the normal day of snorting 50 lines of crack cocaine before going into a drug-induced coma and committing federal war crimes. And knitting. The usual. Would you mind if I praise the Lord? By all means, I'll pray to mine. God bless the savior of the world's thighs and big titty anime waifus. Amen. If you had to beat the ever-loving shit out of one of your fans, who would you choose? Myself, if that counts. I wouldn't want to hurt anyone else. If it had to be someone else, then I guess sleazy people who act really creepy and lewd to me for no reason, even though my content is really safe for work. It kind of makes me uncomfortable. If you were a snake, how long would you want to be? Yes, all the length. I can be a universe snake to end all snakes and life on this fleetless universe to rain endless terror and destruction across galaxies. That or a mini snake who can fit in people's hands because that's really cute, and I would be easily sustainable with little pieces of meat. It would be really cute. Any advice for beginner script writers? Yes, absolutely. Remember to lay out the general plot and character personality. Try to get inside of the head of the character and write how you think they would display things emotionally or reactionally. If you have no idea what to do plot-wise, look into fantasy, romance, or any other general plot starters or ideas. It should give you a general basis of how to start things out. Good ideas on what else to look into is some character designs and maybe base a script off of the character design you see in front of you. What animal is better, red pandas or pandas? I would have to say out of those two, red pandas. I just find them a lot more cuter because pandas are very big boys and red pandas are small lemur boys. I really like the small lemur boys a bit more than the big boofy boys. What type of microphone do I use / what is your setup? I forgot the name of my microphone, but I got it off Amazon for 20 bucks. It's nothing too high quality expensive. Probably in the future I might get something else. I don't really know, but for basic setup, usually I sit close to my phone with the pillow, and then I just talk. It's not really super complicated. What is the airspeed velocity Oven unladen swallow, 24 miles per hour. Opinion on are traps gay? It depends on whether you know if they really are a guy or not. If you know what they have in their pants and you still like them no matter what, that's pretty gay. If you like them but you don't know what's in their pants and assume they are female, that isn't gay. Have you ever encountered a Florida man in the flesh? Yes, I have. Every single day of my existence, I have encountered one. Quite sad. Why are you gay? Because girls are cute. Who can stop me? Is futa gay? Well, kind of like trap, it depends on the context, but I think by knowing what they have down there, it's a bit less gay than a trap, just because a futa has the breasts and the added lower portions. So, in a way, it is gay if you know, but it is less gay than a trap. Would you rather be a werewolf, a vampire, or a chupacabra? Out of those three, I'd probably say a vampire just because I live a lot like one already, and it wouldn't be that drastic of a change for me. Will you marry the fan base? You mean my own, like the people who listen to my content? No, not at all. Would you rather have giant hands or giant feet? Probably giant feet. It would be a perfect rom-com idea. Imagine, I'm a size 13 Nikes, and my life is so hard. Oh wait, that already happened. Shit. Do you have a favorite fan? If so, who? Not really. Some people I don't consider fans anymore because I've grown closer to them and I consider them my friends. But people I haven't grown close to, I just view as fans, and I don't really play favorites there. I just think that everyone that listens to my content is cool, and I don't really understand why they would, but I appreciate it. Who is your favorite Kirby villain? I like Marks and Dark Meta Knight out of all the villains, I'd say. What is your opinion on all of these weird questions? They're fun to answer, but confusing to understand why it was all asked. Still fun to consider the possibility, though. Does your mom know about your channel? Hell no, I'd hope not. That would be worse than lying on a bed of hot coals. No thank you. Is your father disappointed in your YouTube channel? Oh boy, I wouldn't know. I never really knew my biological one, but if we're going with adoptive, he probably would if he knew about it. What are your thoughts of calling people / getting called bro, my bro? I call people dude, bro, and all those terms a lot, so I think it's chill. I kind of view guy and dude and bro like really neutral terms now just because of how commonly I use them. Either way, it's chill. Who would win? A femboy with a tomboy for a weapon, or a tomboy with a femboy for a weapon? I think the femboy with a tomboy for a weapon would be the winner because femboys rock that ooh-woo soft energy, so I don't think a femboy version of a weapon would work out too well, but then again, the tomboys do rock that bruh energy, so maybe she could make that ooh-woo soft energy work as a weapon, but I'm pretty sure that the femboy rocking the tomboy weapon would be a lot more efficient. Favorite episode of Phineas and Ferb? It's hard to decide just because I haven't watched the series in forever, but I really do like looking back and rewatching Doofenshmirtz related episodes. He is a really underappreciated person. Favorite fat beat? I would have to say that my favorite fat beat is Kept by Caravan Palace. It's a vibe that can't really be easily replicated if another song tried to. It just has that uplifting but also sad vibe that I can't just put my finger on. It's really, really nice. Favorite feels song? I would have to say it would be Suffocate by Hade if I had to choose only one. I have some others, but usually this one is my go-to. What's your blood type? I am A positive. And how I learned is I did a lot of blood donations, and the second time I donated, they told me, you're A positive. And I was like, oh, cool, didn't know that. Now I know. Not really useful, but cool. What's the best and worst last name? Well, I don't really like a lot of last names, but I think that the best type of last name is something generic, like Graves or stuff like that. But I think that the worst kind of last name is something really weird like Galore or something that just isn't a stereotypical last name. Would you kill God if you had the chance? Yes, absolutely. And if I could replace him, I would. Definitely. Throw the world into chaos. Are boobs just chest butts? Flesh-wise, maybe, but based on functionality, no. Boobs have a purpose to produce milk when young is conceived, but butt weight does not do anything functionality-wise but look nice and maybe provide a cushion for your hips. Who is the most wholesome being you have created? I would have to say Medusa or Hippocampus. They both are really pure and way too pure for the world that we all live in my personal opinion, of course. If you could dye your hair any color, how would you dye it? I would probably dye the ends of my hair and just fade my natural hair color into a black hair color. So pretty much my natural hair color ombre to black. Pretty simple. If you had to end 100 lives automatically every day you were given one chance to write a set of instructions on which people were to die, and how would the selections process go? If no one was eligible, then it would be completely random. Well, if I had to write down a list, I would first put pedophiles, serial killers, rapists, animal abusers, abusers in general, on the main list. After those are gone, I would put narcissistic assholes and then probably anti-vaxxers, anti-maxers, and just weed out all the very interesting people we have in our world. Probably, if I ran out of those, I'd probably just leave it up to random chance because I wouldn't know what to do with the responsibility. What is your opinion of me? Well, I find you to be considered one of my friends, so you're cool. Yeah. Who do you hate most in this world? My adoptive father, and of course, Hitler. Who do you main in Super Smash Bros? Usually I main the Inklings or Yoshi, so I can make a lot of jokes about eggs, goo, and so forth. Maybe even Bowser just because of his choke slamming capabilities, but mainly the Inklings and Yoshi just because I think the Eggling and the goo jokes are quite funnier. Why did you even decide to make this Q&A? This might be a very underwhelming answer, but people just wanted to see one, so I figured that I would make one if people wanted to ask me things. What is your location? I'm located in a small part of the world called a constant state of pain. What is Pizza's location? They're in Depressionville, right next to Vibetown. Super nice place. Favorite Phineas and Ferb song? The Doofenshmirtz jingle or the main theme song? Chocolate or white chocolate? If we are not including dark chocolate and mint chocolate, then I would just have to go with regular chocolate, even though I'd prefer not to just because of my lactose intolerance. Favorite Animal Crossing villager? Type-wise, I love me the sassy and cranky ones. Favorite villagers I have depends on the game. Old games, I loved Apollo, Tabby, and Drago. Recent villagers I like are Stitches, Aurora, and Audie. Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Neither. They both taste garbage to me. Like, no thank you. What is your favorite fabric for clothes? Usually cotton or polyester, just because polyester feels really smooth and soft. It's really nice pajama material. Human with a animal or monster features, or a humanoid animal / monster. A humanoid monster / animal. It's the whole gist of Monster Girls. Noodles, rice, or potatoes. It depends on what I'm eating. Out of those, if I were to just eat them plain, it would be rice or noodles. Mint or mint tea. I don't really like tea, so mint. Coffee or tea. I really like coffee. I have 1 cup a day in order to wake me up and get me going, so coffee. What is the best thing that you can think of to say about yourself? I have survived this far, so that means I'm doing something right, or I'm such a disappointment it would be an insult to kill me. I don't know what's the best, but that's the closest thing I have. What skill do you possess that you are proud of? I can sew. It's really nice to repair my clothes if they ever get holes in them. Really useful. If you could add or remove one law, what would it be? I would add a law about any anti-vax or anti-mask people to give heavy fines or jail due to their sheer stupidity, honestly. How good is your dancing? Terrible. I only do a little jig. That's as good as I can dance if I'm in public, but private, if I'm having a game of DDR, Just Dance, or all that kind of stuff, I murder the competition. I just can't do it publicly. Favorite melee weapon? A knife. Spears are too informal. Opinions on jazz. For memes, it is absolute work of art, music form, top tier living capacity, third eye opened from the tender tunes of jazz. Outside of memes, I prefer other music more, to be honest. Least favorite language? Probably Japanese whenever people speak it here. It's difficult to pick up writing-wise, and people assume you can talk it if you watch one anime episode. I've heard so many people say senpai and uwu and all these things in public, and it just makes me ashamed. I really like Japanese stuff, just not a fan of the reputation it gets. Favorite eye color? Brown or blue? I don't know why, but those colors to me are really aesthetically pleasing. Favorite internal organ? Appendix, just because I have no idea what it does and it hasn't decided to nuke itself in its full potential way of killing me, so I appreciate that my appendix is there for being utterly useless, but at least it isn't killing me. That's a positive. How much ice is too much for a Coke? If the ice is overflowing from any glass, I think that is a bit too much ice, but no one can stop you. Is Nutella a sauce? A thick sauce, but yes, in a way it is a sauce. Is it true that chocolate milk is the most superior drink of all? No, not at all, not for me. I think that dark chocolate almond milk is where it's at, honestly. I can't even drink chocolate milk. Feels bad. Can you speak any other languages? Not really. I mean, I could, but I couldn't speak it good or fluently, but if really necessary, I can say small words here and there. I wouldn't say I speak anything else, though. Why do you like ASMR? From a creative standpoint, it helps me express different ways of storytelling and acting to create believable characters and hone up my scripting abilities. Outside of creative stuff, it's really fun for me to just write. Other than that, for listening, I just find people's voices nice. It's pleasing, I guess, soothing. How did the death of Harambe drastically change your life? I was never the same. Just hearing it again reminds me of the devastation of it all. Are you actually just a walking mint plant IRL? Yes, I absolutely am. If yes, do you like your black cousin chocolate mint hummus? I don't know what you're asking. If it's food, then I guess so. I didn't even know that mint hummus existed. Have you ever been disappointed in your fans? I've made an insult video. Of course I've been disappointed in my fans. Ideal date/significant other. Well, I prefer someone who is breathing, human, and has a pulse is highly preferred. Favorite flower? I like orchids or blue roses, usually. Your waifu? My waifu is probably Sayori from Doki Doki Literature Club, just because it's the one that I relate to the most, and I think I could get along very well with her. She deserves so much better. Favorite husbando? I don't really have a character I've genuinely liked here, if I'm being serious. But if I'm not being serious, Shrek is peak male performance. Do you have short problems? Yes, I do. I have to get a step stool for a lot of normal everyday activities. It's not too much fun. Fast car or comfortable car? I would have to say a comfortable car just because I ain't a race car driver. Waffles or pancakes? Probably pancakes because I haven't had handmade waffles before. Until I have handmade waffles, probably pancakes. What are your plans for the future of this channel? Will you ever make a second channel where you focus on gaming? The plans for this channel is to make occasional videos when I have inspiration or motivation to. This channel to me is a hobby. I have grown to enjoy, but sometimes I need to take breaks. Overall, a very laid-back approach to make whenever and whatever content I would like and want to. For a second gaming-focused channel, I don't really see a point in making one. If you guys ever want to see me game, I can always do it on this channel, but it's never been a huge staple in my presentation and identity as the creator that I currently present. What is something in popular culture that you hate, but everyone seems to love? Hookup culture, fixing a bad boy in a rom-com, forced representation in one-dimensional characters, and using mental illness as a negative/villainous horror trope for further stigmatization. Some people might not like it as well, but it still seems very popular with the media nowadays. I just don't really like it too much. But why? Well, simple answer. Why not? Why did you start drawing your own thumbnails? Well, I actually have a good reason why I started drawing my own thumbnails. I used to not draw them, and one day I ended up with a copyright strike on a video I worked hard on scripting. So that was one motivation for me to start drawing my own characters and thumbnails, but I also wanted my videos to be more authentic in a way by being able to express with the visual representation what a character's personality is without even listening to the video. So those were the factors in contributing to why I make my own thumbnails now. How do you come up with your thumbnail waifu designs? I think of a character's personality and usually start off with a basic color palette that suits them. Usually I go for designs I find aesthetically pleasing that can express who they are as a person. How long does it usually take to draw your thumbnails? It depends on if I need multiple sprites or just one with a background. Usually for a basic video thumbnail I have made lately, it takes around 3 to 4 hours to fully design, color, and finalize with a background. If every mental disorder took on a physical form and fought each other, who would win? Probably depression or anxiety, because it is a very common disorder. If we are going with the most destructive, based on merely personality traits, then kleptomania, pyromania, intermittent explosive disorder, conduct disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and factitious disorder. Those are the ones that I think would win, if not were the most common ones win. Favorite Pokemon? Rayquaza for Legendary, Mew for Mythical, Basic Pokemon Hydrogen, Electros, and Gardevoir. Those are my favorites. Favorite generation is 4 and 5. Favorite game in general is probably Black and Black 2. What kind of knife is best? Best for murder, cooking, or display. Murder would be a lightweight sharpened blade that is easily hideable. For cooking, I recommend a basic kitchen knife that has been sharpened. For display, a dragon knife because that shit cool. That is all the questions that I have time for today. Thank you so much for listening and helping me reach 10K. Have a great day. Thank you for all of the support.